DG lost that one versus 100 Thieves. They lost it through their own strengths. I think just Viper and Mako dying very early to something that is pretty preventable. So I think don't put too much resources like that. That's still an incredibly scary team to go up against. Group B just has like 2 powerhouses. So yeah, it's gonna be a scary one.
Well, I think both the LPL teams have pretty clear tactics you can use against them. Whereas I think Dom1 and T1 are both incredibly scary and a little bit more versatile than both.
All right, so technically this doesn't matter which team is drawn first. The brackets can kind of go any way for the most part. But here we go. RNG going to be in, I assume, the top left side of the bracket.
Yep.
That means Hanwha Life is going to be on the right-hand side, of course. Opposite them, your group mate cannot be on your side of the bracket. Not first round or second round, so RNG going to headline up there. Who's beneath them?
If you want to play, if you're going to play RNG, you probably want to play the top side, keep Xiaohu down, and kill Cryan a lot.
That's the strategy.
That's the strat.
Ban Twisted Fate.
So if going to the same side of the bracket, this immediately feels like the side of Life to me.
Yeah.
To me, I put DK and T1 as the strongest team from, at least in form, in the group stage. So suddenly you're like, oh, I would love to be drawn here.
Yeah, I think it's lopsided for sure now.
It means Mad Lions on the opposite side, by the way. Mad Lions is getting Dom1 or T1. Yep. Unless they're going back and forth. I don't know for sure the format of it, but yeah, T1,
yeah,
Dom1 Key gonna be the last draw. So yeah, if it's left side, right side, that's the halves.
And just as a reminder, I mean, T1 just looked really good around their rookie players in Gumayushi and Owner. I'm really excited to see how they play. I mean, their vision setup is really good. They just have really talented players, so just do not want to draw that team.
Not a surprise. I would like to see the bracket on screen, I hope, because I'm curious what this whole thing looks like, if it is what my expectation is. All right, but they're just pushing on forward. Here we go, Pool 2. This should be RNG's opponent. It cannot be Hanwha Life.
He doesn't want to touch it. Oh, he baited us.
Okay. So yes, it is side of life, side of death.
Yep. Holy moly.
So we know, by the way, Hanwha Life must be in the bottom side, and Mad Lions must be in the bottom side, because Hanwha Life was in RNG's bracket.
Yes.
And Mad Lions. So those are the sacrificial lines, by the way. Like, those are their opponents.
Yeah, this is actually quite a good first round draw for Cloud9, because we either get Gen G or RNG. And I think everybody agrees Gen G probably the weakest first seed, and then it's up to your interpretation whether you would rather face T1 or RNG, and I think there's easier, clearer game plan versus RNG, so I think both of those are optimal.
Okay, what's the draw? Hanwha Life, again, cannot be RNG's opponent. I believe this puts them in the bottom side, and I think the first available spot would be T1. So I believe this is Hanwha Life T1 as the third quarterfinal in the bracket.
See if we get a look at this one. I mean, just generally speaking, Hanwha Life as a team really started to grow as a team as they moved along in the tournament. Just as a reminder, they were the team that started off in play-ins. So I was actually pretty happy with them. Taking a look at it, So they're going up against T1. That's going to be a pretty fun best of 5 to see, just to see how Chovy does going up against Faker.
Mad Lions, I'm so sorry. Mad Lions, that best of one against Gen G. That best of one against Gen G ended up being, do I play Hanwha Life, or do I play, do I play Cloud9 or EDG, or do I play Dom1 Kia? Second match. EDG, I think that's top side.
Yeah, that's RNG. That's RNG. That's RNG for EDG then. That means we got Gen G!
That means Cloud9 and Gen G. We know all the quarterfinals now.
No shot.
So I am a bit of a fan, honestly, of same region quarterfinals. To me, they're more interesting because then you get cross-region semis more often. Like, that to me is a more interesting kind of bracket here. So RNG, EDG, Edward Gaming, the LPL champions are facing the MSI champions.
It's insane. That's like, just for LPL fans out there, there's always a death match between your regional death match. It always happens. It happened last year.
Oh no, we have multiple teams in the knockout stage.
They have to take their own boys out. I'm just saying.
I will say that there are only 2 LPL teams, though. One's getting knocked out right away, right? So immediately they're down to 1 semifinals, and all the hope is on that team. Mad Lions, has to get thrown to the wolves of Dom1 Kia, the only undefeated team at Worlds. That's going to be a tough road. But Mad Lions, I mean, they have punched above their weight before. They took DK to 5 games. They were up 2-1 in that series.
I mean,
They had one better game, and that's you.
They're an exciting team to watch. Just the last game, I thought that their bottom lane performed quite well. And so, of course, they have to put in their all. They 100% have to have their best day, but I'm looking forward to it.
Cloud9 had a 0-3 start to Worlds.
Hey,
Made it through the tiebreakers for the first time in history.
They deserve a good, easier draw this time around because they got the tougher draw. They had the group of death.
True.
In group stages, okay? They had to put in so much work through play-ins, then got the group of death.
Yep.
Now they get Gen G.
So here's the quarterfinal bracket. And we've been talking about it, but like, you got the Cloud9 shoes. Obviously, we all cast the LCS.
Yes.
Stoked to see C9 get a fighting shot. The last time NA made semis, the only time NA made semis since 2011, was a draw against a somewhat weaker LCK team when Cloud9 took down a Freak of Freaks. They got to try now against Gen G.
And for me, like, this is what Cloud9 kind of built towards. When you put on perks, you already had Sven, you already had the pieces, Blabber, MVP and all that. This is the road that you're kind of looking for to get them to semifinals. But like looking at the rest of the teams, Damwon, Kia, if you're thinking about potential finals situations, I would just immediately say Damwon versus RNG or Damwon EDG. Like that would be really exciting for me to see that as a final.
After this long and intense day, Mad Lion grabbed the C2, and we'll talk about the opponents a bit later. But before that, Karzi, thank you very much for joining me. Tell me about today. How do you feel right now? You must be pretty exhausted, right?
Thank you. So today was in the beginning when we lost the game against Gen G. It was a bit demotivating, but then we bounced back against Team Liquid, and then we stomped LNG, and then we got to play them in the tiebreaker again, and we knew that they are kind of tilted, and there is a lot of pressure on them. So we're kind of happy that we have to play against them. And yeah, the game against them was kind of, it was exhausting, I'd say. And then the game against Gen G, I think everyone was kind of tired, but we still tried and we just fell short.
Yeah. What made you sure that you would win against LNG again? Because you stomped them the first time around, but the second game on red side was pretty hard, I feel.
I mean, it was kind of hard against them on red side because they had top counter pick, and their top laner is really good with their jungler. And also they got a pretty good matchup on bot lane. But in the end, we knew that we are really good at playing from behind, so even though they got ahead, it wasn't that much of a deal for us, and we just tried to bounce back, and we did it luckily.
You said it on Twitter, you're making it out of groups, and you did actually. I do want to talk about the coaching staff though, because you've been praising them throughout the whole year with the support they bring you and how they helped you calm down and manage expectations and everything. So how did they guide you through today?
I mean, there was no pressure on us. Meg was basically, I mean, everyone from the coaching staff was not putting any pressure at us. We were just enjoying the game, since we don't even know if we are gonna like still stay the same, you know, as a roster. So we just enjoyed the day because it could have been the last day we would play together after this successful year. So yeah, I think it helps a lot when coaches don't put pressure on you and they just chill.
Giving it all, no regrets and chill. And that worked for you guys. Before we jump onto quarterfinals, what are the takeaways from this group stage for the Mad Lions?
The takeaways, I mean, we are always kind of struggling in BO1s, but I think our strength is BO5, and now that we are playing against Damwon, it's gonna be do or die.
Do or die? Tell me more about this, because you faced them at MSI. Very close series. They won it in the end, but I mean, they're a different beast this time around, it feels at worst. So, quick words on this matchup and how you think it's gonna go.
So I think that Damwon is a lot better this time than they were at MSI, but I think that, to be honest, we have decent chances. I'd say if we have a good day, I think we can take them to 5 games again. And we are just going to enjoy that day anyways, because in the end we are playing against them and everyone thinks of them as the best team in the world right now, so we can just surprise them.
Come as the underdog maybe here in this matchup. Do you feel stronger than you were at MSI though?
I think the meta at MSI suited us better. And we were playing really well. I was expecting us to actually beat Damwon at MSI after the first 2 games. But then the meta shifted, and I think we are still trying to find ourselves, and now we will try our best to improve as much as possible in the next week.
You'll do your best, and you have a few days to chill and to come together and come ready for this matchup. But Carzzy, you had a long day. I'll let you go now. Thank you so much for this interview. Congrats on reaching quarterfinals on behalf of the West. And Freak, back to you in cooldown.
Thank you.